This is Daddy Show. Step off.
It's time for the main event.
Hey, what is up? Welcome to Tom Clark's Main Event. I'm your host, Tom Clark. What's up, kids? Welcome back to the program. I screwed up my entire introduction. I know what you're thinking. Why can't he get this right? I don't know. I genuinely don't know, but I can't get this right. I've been trying. Hey, what is up? I can't remember how the spiel goes. I've only done it for 9 years. It's not like I would remember by now. Welcome back to the program, folks. Thank you for tuning in. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tom Clark, and this is Tom Clark Makes a Minute. Wait a minute. What's up, kids? All right. You get it. You get it. Happy Friday to you, kids. What's going on? I'm Tom. Welcome to my show. It's my show. But I'll share it with you in the time that we're together. It can be your show as well. And in the time that we're not together. Just don't go saying it's your show without me. I got copyrights and stuff. Just saying. How's everybody doing out there today, man? Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Happy Friday to you. I appreciate you very much tuning in. Smash the like button for me, kids. If you have joined the Boink Studios Discord, and you don't feel like sitting on Facebook or the YouTube, we broadcast to both platforms simultaneously. You can jump into the Discord. The link is in the Discord on the watch along chat. You can chat in there if you want to. Completely up to you. I have pushed this 6 ways from Sunday, but I'm going to do it again today before we get cranking with the show. BoinkStudios.com. BOINK, BoinkStudios.com, kids, for all your Boink Studios needs, which means Tom Clark's Main Event, Tom Clark's 6M Podcast, and Two Nations Under Ted Lasso Podcast. What I'm going to eventually do is start running bonus episodes of the Main Event. Nothing costs you any money because I don't put any of my stuff behind a paywall. You guys know that by now, right? But I'm going to start running bonus episodes of the Main Event in Discord. And if 2 people show up, I guess it'll just be the 3 of us. Okay. But the idea is I want to bulk up the Discord because it's a fun platform and I enjoy using it. But I'm going to start running some bonus episodes of the Main Event available only in Discord. Okay. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know. Hit the Boink Studios website right there. You can see the Discord link at the bottom. Join us on Discord, kids. I think you will greatly enjoy it. I've built this thing from the ground up. We've got all kinds of channels, everything from pro wrestling to comic books to streaming TV, movies, books, animation, blogs, a whole lot more. There's a gaming channel in there, everything you could possibly imagine. So please and thank you. Visit BoinkStudios.com, okay? And also, as you're on the website, join our Discord. Again, everything is free of charge. None of my content is behind a paywall, okay? So please and thank you. Check out the website, number 1. Join us on Discord, number 2. And stay tuned. It could be after the first of the year before I start doing this. I haven't decided yet. But it could be as early as a month from now. Who knows? But I am going to start doing some bonus episodes. You know what the cool part about Discord is? If you're in the group chat, you can unmute your mic and speak. How cool would that be? So instead of taking questions like text questions, if you guys want to speak your questions, I can take your spoken questions. We can have a conversation. How much fun would that be? Maybe the first time we do this will just be like a Q&A session. How about that? That sound fun? Let me know what you guys think, man. I'm thoroughly interested in it, and hopefully you guys will dig it. Again, when I start to make plans to do this, I will let everybody know. You can check it out, okay? And I'll drop links everywhere. If you are following us on all the socials, then you know that Tom Clark's Main Event goes live almost every Friday right here on the Facebook and on YouTube. 2 different locations. And beginning today, we're also being streamed to the website, BoinkStudios.com. So I've given you 3 different opportunities to check out the show live. Okay? Not recorded, not after the fact, nothing like that. Okay? I'm watching that myself on the feed right now on the website, and man, don't I look good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I do. And I'm telling you, again, kids, boinkstudios.com. If you don't feel like going to the Facebook or the YouTube or the hey, whatever, you can go to the website. Now, if you want your comments to be seen on the air, you will have to be on either Facebook or YouTube. But if you just want to watch the show for the sake of watching it, maybe you're on the go or whatever, I don't know. Maybe you're just not in a position where you can talk. Maybe you've got several windows open on your PC or on your phone, whatever that looks like. Hey, man, do your thing, and let's do this. Smash the like button, children, before I start saying hello. Please and thank you. Let's get that number up as soon as possible. We got lots of pro wrestling goodness to talk about here today. In the meantime, if you have never been to the show, what's up? I'm Tom Clark. This is the main event. Going strong since 2014. This is episode 327. That's right, kids. Churning along. Come rain nor sleet nor snow nor hell of night. I don't remember. We brave the elements. If the weather's bad, we'll be here. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, there we are, kids. Again, Tom Clark's main event. You can follow us on social media. If you'll just go to boinkstudios.com, all of our social links are there, including where you can subscribe to the podcast. Did you know that the main event is not just a live show here on the Facebook that you and I wave at each other every week and I take your comments? The audio version is also wherever you get your podcasts. So if you would like to subscribe to the show, I would very much encourage it and very much appreciate it. Please and thank you. All right. Subscribe to the audio version of the main event. All right. We're on Spotify. We're on Audible. We're on Amazon Music. We're on iHeartRadio and Apple Podcasts. And I'm telling you, man, if you're into it, if you're a podcast person like I am, subscribe to the audio version of the show. Again, I would greatly appreciate it. The audio version is also available on the YouTube if you're so inclined. Thanks for getting the number up, kids. One more like till we hit number 10. And I'm going to start taking questions, and we're going to start getting into today's show. We've spent 9 minutes on this because I'm a hype machine. One more like, and boom, I start cranking because I see comments. Oh, there it is. Thanks, kids. Right out the gate, Mean Gene. Good to see you back. Good to see you back. Glad you're here. David Down Under. Family's doing good, my friend. How are you and yours? Sugar Shane is here. What's up, Josh? Good to see you. Jeffrey, what's going on, dude? Good to see you. What's up, Robbie? Good to see you, my friend. Oh, territory names. There we are. I can't wait till that. What's up, Charlie? How you doing, my friend? Ray All Day is here. Let's see. What's going on? So, yeah. BoinkStudios.com, kids, please and thank you. Again, I would greatly appreciate your business. Tim is here. What's going on? Good to see you. Gene says, wanted to thank you all. Cancer treatments are over. Awesome. I hope that you are doing great. As great as you could be after having gone through the cancer treatments, right? He says you look better because you... Oh, I see. Well, you know what? A profanity leveled at you in your general direction. A pox on your house. I was going to say a pox on your house. I better not do that. Some people take that stuff seriously. To me, it's just cute jokes, but some people might take that stuff seriously. I did change my background. What do you guys think? This whole time I've been going live on YouTube, but I've never done so with a thumbnail, like to schedule the show, because I'm always like, why would I schedule the show? I'm going to go on at 4. What's the big deal? But this way I can create a YouTube thumbnail. So I just took the background from that and use it on the show. I think it looks pretty sweet, man. You see that? Look like I got a halo. See, I am the main event. See that? I am where the ring is. It is Tom Clark's main event, for crying out loud. Are you kidding me? Kids, smash the like button for me again, please, and thank you. If you have not done so yet, the heart, the thumbs up, the smiley face, hit me with your emojis. If you're having a good time watching us here today and you're ready to talk about some wrestling, throw up a smiley face or maybe a devil's horn on there. That'd be nice. I don't know. Does that make you uncomfortable if I call it devil's horn? How about rock and roll or metal or rock on? I don't know what you want to call it. That's usually my de facto emoji. Everyone, please welcome Faye from the Untitled Wrestling Podcast. Faye, we got to get you on the main event. Let's hook that up. If I'm not kidding with you, let's try to hook it up for next Friday if you're down. Message me. If you'd like to. You don't have to. Well, if it's going good here, my friend, you got snow, brother, you can have it. You can have it. I like the background as well. This is a New Japan show. I'm not sure which one that you're looking at. I can't remember. But you know me, I like to represent the land of the rising sun here. So there you go. All right, kids. Well, let's get cranking here today. Again, thanks everybody for tuning in. If you are so inclined to share this stream, I'll get it. Share this stream on your page. That would be lovely. I would love that. I would appreciate if you would do that for me. Thank you. If you're so inclined. And for your friends that don't like the pro wrestling, you can stick it to them. For your friends that do like the pro wrestling, you can show them this. I mean, what more do you want? Know what I mean? It's fun, baby. It's fun. We have fun, don't we? Don't we have fun? I think we have fun. Let's talk about some of the news from this week, kids. We got out of the blue in a holy wow, geez moment. I can't get my words out today. MJF versus Kenny by God Omega coming up at AEW Collision tomorrow night. I can't wait to hear people's thoughts. I'll give you mine in the meantime, if that's okay. Is that okay? Yeah? All right. Here we go. I've never seen, I shouldn't say never, wait a day and you'll see it. Look the day before and you'll see it. I was going to say I've never seen that many fans get that upset over a dream match or a match of this caliber ever. But that's a lie. Again, look the day before and look the day after. Because some wrestling fans can't be happy. You could give them the greatest match they've seen in the history of matches. You could give them Okada right now versus, Kurt Angle in his prime. You could give them, Ric Flair in his prime versus, Kenny Omega, right? Or whatever. You could give them Jon Moxley today versus Terry Funk in his prime. You know what I mean? You could give them anything. They go, and they crap all over it. You want to know why? Because some people aren't happy unless they're unhappy. Can we just call it for what it is? I read more criticism on this. Well, this match has had no build-up. This match hasn't been promoted. From people who wouldn't know how to promote a match to save their lives. I just don't get it. I don't get why we get so upset. We're going to get Kenny Omega versus MJF on television. Not on a pay-per-view. I enjoy watching AEW, but man, they're $60 me to death and $50 me to death. You know what I mean? Holy Lord. I'm just saying. I just don't, it bothers me. Anyway, money, baby, money. We're going to get this on streaming on live TV. And we're upset. We're upset about it. Just don't get it. Why can't you just watch it and be happy? I don't know. I don't understand. Faye says, I'm very excited for that. Same here. Jeffrey says, you cannot please 100% of the people 100% of the time. But in the wrestling world, you can't please 100% of the people ever. You can barely please 50% of them 20% of the time because people just want to complain. It makes me nuts. It says, would it make more sense if Kenny offered to be his partner for a title shot? You are stealing my thunder. You want to know where Ray got that thought? In the Discord. I said this the other day in the Discord, kids. In fact, I said, I think MJF and Omega, will tear it up on Saturday. But here's a thought. Wouldn't it have made more sense for Omega to offer his services as a tag partner for MJF with the stipulation that if they win, Kenny gets a title shot? If you kids were in the Discord, you'd know that. Look here. Can you read that? My kid is attempting to call me. As if he doesn't know what Dad's doing. All right. Want me to take him somewhere? Look, this match is going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see it. I think it's going to be really good. You can call this what you want to call this. You can say to me, well, Tom, this is Tony Khan who doesn't know how to book. Okay. You can say, well, Tom, this is Tony Khan attempting to spike a rating. It didn't work Wednesday. Did you see that rating from Wednesday? They had Okada in the main event, and the rating didn't go anywhere. Because Tony Khan don't know how to book, Tom. He's a money mark, Tom. You can't book, Tom. Let's hear it. I just don't understand why people get so emotionally invested in this stuff. When I first started writing for Bleacher, I was still that highly emotionally invested fan. Okay? Then I started reading the comments. And it gutted me. Because I'd never really seen that to that point. I never really had anybody come at me before over wrestling. And my writing was solid. It wasn't that. They just didn't care for my opinions on some stuff. My first column, I think it was my second column out the gate for Bleacher Report, I got called a racist. I got called an Uncle Tom. I'll never forget that. That will stay with me forever. I got called an Uncle Tom. No kidding. So about 10 columns in, give or take, I stopped reading the comment section. And we were encouraged to correspond or to engage with the comments section. And I just stopped. I couldn't do it anymore. You know what I mean? Toxicity. Crazy. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this, kids. I think this is going to be awesome. Any other comments on this? Let's see. Sugar Shane says MJF versus Omega will be better than 3 hours of Raw. It's all subjective, but I'm going to enjoy it, I'm sure. Tim says we got spoiled this past Wednesday night. Kazuchika Okada versus Bryan Danielson. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Jeffrey says maybe it's the old thing of John Moxley said, I cannot tag with you until we fight against each other. I think that would have been the way to go. Ray says, do you like Joe's? I like Joe as whatever he wants to be. I don't call that a face turn because he offered to be MJF's friend. He hasn't done anything yet. I wouldn't go, Ray, don't go too crazy on that just yet. Let's see how, I don't want to say let's see how it plays out. That's played out. Let's see what happens. All he did was like shake his hand and said he'd be his friend. That came from out of nowhere. We know he's got an ulterior motive. He's going to destroy him. He's going to wreck him and tear him in half. It does seem to some degree like there's a whole lot of people come from MJF at the same time, and you look at that and go, well, how can this company juggle that many contenders at once? When the reality is that when you're the world champion, you're at the top of the mountain, everybody and their brothers should be chasing you 24/7. So it actually makes a lot of sense that, you know, Samoa Joe wants a shot. Jay White wants a shot. Wardlow wants a shot. You see what I'm saying? I'm actually okay with all of that. And plus it's different. You know, we're kind of used to that cookie cutter, you know, template of a match where it's a contender versus a champion, a contender versus a champion. But again, in reality, you would have, if this were the Wild West in terms of rankings don't dictate title shots, you know what I mean? Imagine if boxing were this way. You could just have all these dudes calling out the champ, whether they'd lost previously or not, or won previously or not, right? I'm actually okay with it. Yeah, I see you guys talking about Danielson. Faye says it's reported that he left of his own power. I mean, man, if he's hurt again, holy Lord, I feel so bad for Cole. I really do. And if Danielson's hurt again, man, I'd feel really bad for him as well. Jason said, who's going to be the opponent for Sting's final match? I would say Darby, in my opinion. I think Darby's the best choice. But we'll see what happens. Did anyone check out Bound for Glory? If I'm being fully transparent, I have yet to watch it. I heard it was a good show, and I heard that Ospreay and Speedball Mike Bailey tore the house down. TNA Wrestling is returning, kids. January of next year, supposedly Impact Wrestling will once again become total nonstop action wrestling. Some people would argue they never should have changed it. The six-sided ring is not coming back to our knowledge, mostly because it's highly dangerous. It might look cool, But looking cool doesn't mean anything if you get killed. All right. So apparently that's not coming back. So we'll just see. We'll just see. Is this going to change anything? Is the rebranding to the previously known TNA brand going to change anything? I don't know. Is it going to cause is there going to be like a romantic notion of, hey, this is like TNA the way it used to be. All right, all right. And people are going to be happy and dancing and singing. I don't know. I don't know. The complaints I have with that company are few. And there's stuff I get hung up on, which doesn't really matter because it's silly pro wrestling. It's just a few things. No one asked, but you're here. You're hanging out with me, right? So I'll tell you. Scott D'Amore is a hard sell as a character on TV. No disrespect. The guy's accomplished a lot. And what he's done with that company and keeping them on the map and booking shows and doing their stuff, hey, man, kudos to him. Mazel tov. All right? But him as a character on TV is a hard sell for me. When he gets into the heels' faces and screams at them like he's doing a power trip on them, the way he just chucked the mic down Saturday night, there's moments of him, not of him as a person, him as a character that just don't feel, for me, maybe it works for everybody else. Not the end of the world if it doesn't work for me and it works for you. I'm just saying, for me, it's odd. You know what I mean? It's not working. But that's me talking. I don't care if the women work in the men. I'm clear on that. It doesn't mean I hold it against anyone if they enjoy women versus men in the ring. It's just not my thing. I don't really care for it too awful much, if I'm being honest. So that's just me talking. But, again, if that's your thing, it's your thing. It's fine. You know what I mean? Women are tough as nails in the ring, and they should be able to hold their own. And look, if everything's going according to plan, which means wrestlers take care of each other, nobody should be getting hurt, whether you're male or female, correct? So, yeah. Jeffrey says the six-sided ring is what made TNA stand. It's dangerous because I think it has something to do with the corners, because those ropes in the corners don't have any give. You know what I mean? That's part of the problem because they're shortened, right? I think that's part of the issue. And plus being able to gauge like your landing spot, how you're coming off the top, how you get up to the top, all of that plays a part in this. I mean, if I had to narrow it down, I would say that's what it all comes down to. But I heard guys like Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles and some of their top guys at the time saying, I hate this ring. So yeah, fans might like it, but look, the wrestler's safety is paramount. It's the most important thing. It's the most important thing. Faye says, I've only ever really watched Impact. The only TNA match I've watched was the AJ versus Joe versus Daniels match, which is fantastic. On the last podcast episode, the boys were telling me about old TNA. It all sounded fake. I listened to that show. It's a good show. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It was interesting. Look, I am on the record, and many times, I'll go on the record again here today, okay? I want pro wrestling to continue long after my demise, and I don't plan on checking out for a good long time. All right? I'd like pro wrestling to exist and to flourish and to be successful. And pro wrestling companies who are attempting to do it right, pro wrestling companies who are taking care of their talent, pro wrestling companies who are doing the right thing for the business, I believe that those pro wrestling companies, I would like them to flourish. I would like those companies to succeed in the future. So if Impact rebranding themselves as TNA is good for business and it can cause more fans to come to the table and it could possibly bring more talent to the locker room and they can increase their numbers, then I am absolutely all for it. Because again, I want the business to flourish. You know what I mean? And I don't agree with a lot of the stuff I see in some of these other promotions. I'm not much for hardcore. I don't know why they feel the need to blood, blood. You know, it's like a horror movie all the time. And I'm an old school Jim Crockett guy. I think blood is fantastic when used sparingly, when used as an exclamation mark, not as the first paragraph of a book. Do you know what I mean? That's me talking. But again, if the company's, you know, doing the right thing and has a fan following and is trying to honor the business to whatever degree they're trying to do so, then I want that company to succeed. I have to clarify that comment because there's racist promoters out there who suck and who treat women horribly and mistreat talent. So if I sit here and tell you I want every company to succeed, that's a lie. I don't. You know what I mean? I don't. I don't think anyone should. Every company. No, you don't. Do you know what kind of carnies are out there that are terrible, terrible people? That's why I like to clarify my comments. Chad, too bad. What's going on, my friend? Jamel made it. Good to see you guys. I appreciate you. Ray says, do you think CM Punk will come to TNA? In my opinion, CM Punk would want to go to the company that he has the best chance of being seen on a worldwide stage. And I don't think TNA is that company. It would be the highest rated episode in the history of that company, bar none. And the first pay-per-view with Punk on board would be the best-selling pay-per-view in the history of that company. It would increase their stock, but I don't know that it would increase his. And that is no disrespect to Scott D'Amore or anybody in TNA at all, okay? No disrespect intended, no disrespect implied. Jeffrey says Bobby Roode is out of action for the rest of the year and working as an agent for whatever because he is hurt, not planning on wrestling anytime soon. I think I heard that. Because of Shane's comment, he's hoping TNA Originals come back. Yeah. We'll see. Jamel says, I've read that his asking price is too high. Talking about Punk, right? Jeffrey says, CM Punk's burned bridges and all other promotions might be his. Well, he was in TNA. I don't know how much he enjoyed his run there, but he's been in TNA before. Been a while. What's up, Charlotte? Is there going to be a female member in the Lashley group? Well, look, if there is, for goodness sake, I know what everybody's thinking. Oh, Bianca, right? Again, not that you said that, but it's this idea of, you know, let's put all the African-American guys in the stable. Why? I mean, I got one example for you. Sly and the Family Stone. You want to talk about a melting pot of a faction? Sly and the Family Stone is it. Black and white, jamming together, singing together, putting out some insanely great music. I'm just saying. That company has a fascination with it, however, which is weird. Eric Jackson in the house. Everybody, welcome James Luft back to the program. What's up, Jay? Jay, you know from Untitled Wrestling Podcast and from Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. Guess what, kids? We're at the bottom of the hour. You know what that means? Promo time. BoinkStudios.com. Man, was that fun. BoinkStudios.com is where you'll find. Let's look at the bottom. Boom, there she is. BoinkStudios.com is where you're going to find Tom Clark's Main Event, Tom Clark's 6M podcast, and Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. All right? And what that means is Two Nations Under Ted is a Ted Lasso podcast. We rewatch the entire Ted Lasso show. Isn't that fun? Season 1's in the books. Season 2 premieres, kicks off with the preview episode Saturday, November 11th. Mark your calendars, kids. The episode is finished and done and set to publish November 11. Today I went through my calendar and I planned out the release schedule for the entirety of Season 2. And you don't want to know when Season 2 is done, Jay. Jay, are you still here? Season 2, the last episode of Season 2, Season 12, Episode 12, Season 2, releases Saturday, February 3rd. It's the last episode of Season 2, and the Season 2 review is Saturday, February 10th. This is a hoss of a podcast. I've never done anything like this in my life. When we're done with this, the three of us may never do this again. Not because it's not fun, but because the amount of work that goes into it. It's a labor of love, however, because I love doing it. I can't complain. And look, we joked before that once this show's over, we'll tackle something else. Hey, man, you never can tell. Never can tell, kids. Is anybody going to check out NWA Salween? I believe that's how it's pronounced. It's not an M, it's a W. NWA Salween. Salween? Yeah. Is anybody going to check this out? This happens tomorrow, Cleveland, Ohio, at the Temple Live. Cleveland Masonic. Somebody should be watching this. They have 15 matches. 15 matches. Holy Lord. Jordan Clearwater and the Country Gentlemen versus Zion and the Outrunners in a 6-man tag team match. Brady Pierce, who will be portraying Michael Hayes in the Iron Claw flick, by the way, kids, taking on Rush Freeman. Loser leaves NWA match. Rolando Freeman will serve as a special guest referee. Samantha Starr and Missa Kate versus Tiffany Neves and Celeste. Samantha Starr versus Missa Kate versus Tiffany Neves versus Celeste. If I butchered those names to anyone, I apologize. 4-way match to determine number one contender for NWA World Women's Championship. I'll get it. Daisy Kill and Talos versus the Immortals. Tag team match for NWA United States Tag Team Championship. EC3 defending the NWA World Championship in a no limits match against Tom Latimer with Camille. Kenzie Page versus Ruthie J for the NWA World Women's Championship. That should be good. Colby Carino versus Joe Alonzo. Pillar to post match. I love the way that sounds, don't you? For NWA World Junior Heavyweight Championship. Pretty Empowered. That's Ella Envy and Kylie Page. By the way, Ella Envy worked in HVW, so I got a chance to produce a couple of Ella's matches for that company. Very fun. Versus Natalia Markova and Taylor Rising. Tag team match for NWA World Women's Tag Team Championship. Blunt Force Trauma. Love that tag team name. With Aaron Stevens versus Knox and Mike Murdoch. I'm sorry. Versus Murdoch and Trevor. Jeez. Which is Mike Knox and Trevor Murdoch. We'll get it. Knights of the Round Table tables match for NWA World Tag Team Championship. That'll be fun. Jax Dane versus Blake Bulletproof Troop in a submission match. This is never going to end. Violent J and the Brothers of Funstruction versus Vampira and La Rebellion in a Riddle Box 6-man tag team match. The Southern Six versus the Headbangers. Yes, those Headbangers in a rock and roll tag team match. Thrill Billy Silas Mason versus Chris Adonis. Burning Lake Brawl for the NWA National Heavyweight Championship. Judas, Max the Impaler, Alex Misery, and Magic Inc. versus Sal the Pal, Gags the Gimp, Koa Laxamana, and Magnum Muscle. Yikes. In a Devil's Last Dance Ultimate Hardcore War. And, I guess, main event perhaps, Matt Cardona versus To Be Announced. I need a nap now. Yikes. 15 matches, baby. Are you kidding? Hoy. Mike England says, all right, who wants a body slam? Not me. I bruise easy. You don't know anybody on that card, Ray? Ray, you should give NWA a chance, brother. I'm always encouraging you to watch much wrestling as you can. If nothing else, go to their YouTube channel. It's free. Shane says when NWA debuts on the CW, more people will check it out to see who's on the roster and see how good the product. Of course. La Rebellion are awesome. I've seen them. Yeah, good stuff. What's up, Kevin? Where are you at? There you are. Hey, man, doing good. I'm doing well. Hope you are. I was in your fair city for Punk's return match that year. Punk's first match in AEW. First match back after 7 years, I think. That was a fun trip. I ate so much food that weekend. I think I gained 6 pounds that weekend, baby. I'm not kidding. Man, what a fun trip. We went to the main event, the big honking like arcade and fun place. Holy Lord. And then we went to the saddle room. It was like walking down from the parking lot to get dinner. Best burger I've ever had in my life. Angus, or not Angus, but Kobe beef. Best burger I've ever had in my life. It was like taking a warm piece of butter and putting it between two buns. That's how good it was, and how it just, you didn't even have to chew the food. I'm not kidding. That was a fun trip. I'd love to go back sometime, for sure. How do I feel about Roman Reigns not participating in Survivor Series? I don't know what they're doing. We'll see. I can tell you that, I'm not saying that the timing's not right here. I'm not suggesting that. But I have been of the opinion that Cody Rhodes should be the one to take the belt off of him. But there again, I thought he should have done it this year. But we'll see. I think that he should take it from him next year. So I think if they're trying to do this to get the timing right, to get the pawns in place for him to take the title, because I don't believe that LA Knight's taking that belt. I don't know that LA Knight's going to win a world title in that company. He may win the world title, but I don't know that he's going to win the WWE title. Keep in mind, I don't book in that company, so I don't know the truth. I'm just telling you what I think. Gene says, what did you think about Ric Flair? Rick is a tough subject for me. I grew up with Rick. Rick is an all-time legend. He'll go down as arguably the greatest of all time. I say arguably because everybody argues everything, right? I got some issues with Flair that, a lot of the stories about him over the years just they're not good. And it's not like, well, one person said it, Tom. No, everybody said the same thing about Flair. So that's tough. That's tough. But see, just like I was preaching over the past 2 weeks, man, this idea that we're going to look at pro wrestling to be our moral compass, that's a problem. That's a real problem, because it's something we should never do. Because there are imperfect people in pro wrestling. Want to know how I know that? They're human, which means they are imperfect, as we all are. Jay says Christian's promo hymn was like, it was so good. It wasn't it? What was cool was it could have become very cringy very quickly, because I kept thinking, oh, don't let Rick talk. No disrespect to Rick. Rick is the man, right? Especially on the mic. But at the same time, when you get outside the four walls of WWE, because in that company they train you to, I talk, you shush. Now you talk and I shush. And then you go to companies outside WWE and they're talking on top of each other. And as a fan, you're going, I can't stand it anymore. You know what I mean? I was afraid Rick was going to start talking. So, but he took it with a smile on his face, and Christian's great. Christian's great. What do you think about the prospect of Ric Flair becoming like a Minoru Suzuki, becoming, what do you guys call him, Murder Grandpa? How fun would that be? Just have him come out and just stab people in the head with a fork. Like another Terry Funk? Are you kidding me? Oh my God, I think I might be here for that. By the way, I'm watching that GCW show, Jay, that you guys were at. Weren't you in Liverpool? I'm watching that show. Where are you in the crowd, Jay? To be fair, I haven't looked for you. So yeah, Rick's made the comment to staying on the air that, I'd like to be here for the ride for up to March. I don't know what that means, but we'll see. We'll see. Sandy in Germany's not here. If he was, I would tell him congratulations, because Berlin is getting WWE Bash in Berlin. But Sandy ain't here. What are we going to do now? For the first time in the history of the main event, I just sneezed on my show. For the first time ever. You don't know it because I muted the mic. And had I not muted the mic, you never would have known it. Or no, you would have known it. Had I not told you, you wouldn't have known it. But I'm always honest with my audience. I've never done that. You know, I never sneezed on a podcast before. I bet I do it every week now. Phil Lindsay has sneezed on the podcast. Shout out to Phil Lindsay. I love him. I'm just saying. And see, Ray's got manners. Ray said, bless you. All you heathens out there. Very few things drive me crazier than when someone doesn't bless you after you sneeze. You guys don't have to do that, I'm saying. Nothing drives me crazier than that, really. It's like terrible, terrible manners. And it doesn't mean anything, really. But in my head, it means something. I don't know why I feel that way. Jay, I'm watching GCW in Liverpool 2023 from September 16th. I went ahead and tried the preview. I'm a little upset because there's no Defiant, there's no Progress, there's no Rev Pro on here. I guess those guys all have their own platforms now. That's very upsetting for me. I may not move forward with this subscription for Fight Plus. Because I wanted at least one of the other three on here too, but they're not on here. So that sucks. Gene says, do you know why people say bless you? It doesn't have something to do with like people believe like if you're sneezing, it has something to do with an evil spirit or some nonsense. And it was like by blessing someone, they were like protecting them from little red demons or something. I don't know. I always thought that's what it was. Anyway, we'll see what happens to this Bash in Berlin thing. It's the first time I think Germany's ever gotten an event of this nature. So if you're in Germany, congratulations. You might love this. We also heard about AEW World's End this week. I actually love the title of this show. It'll take place on December 30th. Saturday, December 30th, at the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Uniondale, New York, on Long Island. The first New York pay-per-view for AEW. Another $50 out of Tom's pocket. Hoy! I'm interested to see what happens with this. Again, love the name. Don't know who's going to be on it. No one really knows yet. We shall see. We shall see. Yeah, I know I follow them on there. Is all their content free? Or do they have like a subscription service on YouTube as well? Cena versus Solo Sikoa at Blood Jewel. He's sticking around. I guess he's around for a while. Gene says, when you sneeze, your heart skips a beat. Man, did I blow that guess out of the water. I totally ruined that, didn't I? Jeez. Why was I thinking it had something to do with like, you know, the old timey, you know, kind of like, you know, people used to be scared of cameras because they thought it was stealing your soul or some such nonsense. Isn't that crazy? J-Lo says North Wrestling. Oh, they're nice. Who has used a lot of wrestlers from Progress, Rev Pro, and Defiant. Cool. Well, then I may keep it. I need to go through here and check it out. I did have the IWTV. I think it was IWTV subscription. It was pretty cheap. I had it for the longest time, and the first like 6 months I had it, I was diving into all kinds of stuff. That's how I knew a lot of the talent before they ever got to AEW. One, I'd either worked with them or seen them up close behind the curtain in promotions around here, or I'd seen them on IWTV. So, yeah. Anyway. Jeffrey says it was reported he would be, talking about Cena, be reported at least until Crown Jewel. There you go. I saw him cut that promo talking about he ain't won a match in like 2 years or something. Or whatever, however long it's been. 3 years, 4 years? I don't know. Which begs the question. Why would you let him come out and say that? You remember that we were talking about Jericho maybe on the show, last show or 2 shows back, whatever it was. And I was making the case that, you know, Jericho's a top guy, and this idea that Jericho doesn't put people over, that's ridiculous because he does. And by the way, if Chris Jericho lost every match that he had, he would no longer be putting people over. It wouldn't be a big deal to pin Chris Jericho then because everybody's pinning him. Do you see where I'm coming from? Every time John comes back and has a feud, he loses. So at what point does he actually start winning feuds again? Because everybody's pinning John at this point, right? You see what I'm saying? At what point does it not mean anything anymore? Like, remember when John used to lose? And you're like, remember when Tenzon beat, not Tenzon, what do they call him? Tenzai? That horrible Prince Albert gimmick? Lord Tenzai? Remember that horrible thing? And he pinned him on TV, I think it was. And you're like, what? That was a big thing, man. You know what I mean? When John used to lose when he was full-time, it meant something. It meant something. It doesn't mean anything now because he loses all the time. Isn't that funny? How'd that happen? Weird. Oh, that IWTV login? Oh, let me tell you, I'd canceled the thing. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up on comments. Look, my mustache is doing a very, you see, this is freaking me out. This is hair, I promise you. I'm not disgusting. Isn't that funny? Like, I've got a little bit of dark here and dark here. But like, in dark here, the rest of it's turning gray, which means I have to hang myself soon. Do I have plans for Halloween? He says, no. My only plan for Halloween is to release the Tom Clark 6M Podcast Halloween special. We are reviewing Tucker and Dale versus Evil. If you have never seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil, this is your great chance to see it. If you have seen it, then you need to listen to this podcast. It's myself and Christopher Ray Patton. We had a heck of a time. We recorded the episode this past Tuesday. It will be out on Halloween. New episodes of the 6M Podcast drop every Tuesday. There you go. Isn't that fun? Guess what, kids? The floor is wide open. 10 minutes to go to the top of the hour. We are out of here. Gavin says, hey, Tom, sorry, late to the show. No worries. Wanting for you to discuss Sting. Let's see. Sting and his impending retirement. And your thoughts on it. I'm a huge fan and so glad to see an icon at 64 getting his last shot. I love Sting. I love he's getting to call his shot. He didn't get to call his shot in that match versus Seth Rollins in WWE. I'm glad he's had the run that he's had here. It's been phenomenal. I think that any veteran would be hard-pressed to match what Sting's done in WWE. 64 years old. Isn't that crazy? I'm happy for him. When AEW begins a Hall of Fame, and I'm not saying it should be right now, but AEW has been in existence for 4 years. So, in my opinion, at the 5-year mark, there should become an AEW Hall of Fame. And I think Sting should be the first man inducted. That's my opinion. He probably won't be. It'll probably be Jericho. But I would like to see Sting inducted into WWE or to the AEW Hall of Fame. I think that would be great. And I've not heard anything about an AEW Hall of Fame, but I think the 5-year mark would be a great time to actually make that happen. We'll see if they plan to do that. I don't know. Oh, Jay's talking about phase logins. Oh, Vic, what's going on? Yeah, Rhonda was at this indie show with Marina Shafir last night. Will we see Rhonda in AEW? I really don't have the answer to that question. Anything's possible. All right, Ray's here. Ray says, nice and smooth or Gangstar. I'll say Gangstar. And part 2, Cypress Hill or Tribe Called Quest. That's hard. I have to go with Tribe, though. If Adam Cole came to your house and invited you and your family to a Halloween party with music, hot pumpkin coffee, and a free TV, and he said you can bring a friend, could I join? Yes. Later wanted to go to dinner and get baked chicken and mix of veggies, could I join as well? Absolutely. Adam needs to know that he's missing a lot by not being our friend. He's missing all kinds of activities. Actually, we're probably missing a lot by not being Adam's friend, because he's the one that keeps inviting us to all this stuff, right? Inviting me, though. Not inviting you, Ray. You get to go because of me. I'm your gateway, Ray. I'm your door into the life of Adam Cole. I like to interview Adam one of these days. I like to run all this by him and tell him, you're not going to believe what happens on my show every single week. Jay says Brody Lee could be the first inducted. There you go. Done. Done. Love it. Chad Too Bad says it's been a minute. Your thoughts on Sami Callihan to AEW possibly? I know him and Mox are tight. I'm not a Callihan fan. No disrespect. Sami Callihan, the person, might be the nicest guy you ever met. I'm not a fan of his stuff in the ring. Just never have been. I'm just not a fan. I'm not going to, I'm not going to lay him to waste here or anything crazy. It's not going to do it. But again, I'm just not a fan. If he comes, he comes. It's whatever. We'll see. We'll see. All right, Robbie. Who's the wrestler? 3 choices. Gary Richard Williams. Maybe that's Gary Hart? Probably won't be right. Herman Gustav Rode Jr. Wow, I don't know these guys. And David Everest Ferret. I don't know. Wow. And I told you to try to hit me with some territory, people, and I thought I'd do better. Boy, was I wrong. I was dead wrong. I am not good at this game. At all. Isn't that crazy? Faye says, I think other people make Sammy interesting, but I don't like him. I like the way you said that. Other people make him interesting. That's a way to put it. Ray says, heard Big E is getting better and he shot him wrestling. That's a tough one for me. I love Big E, but I think he's been out for this length of time for a very, very good reason. And I think Big E, in the tremendous shape he's in, if he can't get cleared at this point, I don't know, man. It's a tough one for me. Of course, we also thought Adam Copeland would never work again. Bryan Danielson would never work again. Christian Cage would never work again. I mean, there's a list of people that we thought they were done, right? And they all came back. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I'm torn on that. I love Big E. I'd love to see him come back. But do I think I don't know. If he gets cleared, good on him. And you know what? I saw this comment, but not by anyone here, by someone else. But I saw this comment, something about that match that Paige had with oh man, why am I blanking on it? Not Paige, jeez. Saraya had with Tony Storm on Dynamite that night. I think it was it on Dynamite or it was on the pay-per-view. And she gave Saraya the pile driver. And the comment was made on a surgically repaired neck, which was, why is she doing this? And I'm like, she's cleared. If you can't take a pile driver, maybe you shouldn't be in the ring. What are we talking about? I'm supposed to work somebody and be careful? Can you wrestle or not? If you're not cleared, why are you in here with me? I'll take care of you, but you can't take a move? Sometimes there's dumb things said by people who ought to know better, and it just blows my mind when I see and hear them. I just don't get it. I don't get it. The degrees to which some people show their ignorance, it's beyond me. It's mind-blowing, if I'm being honest. It is absolutely mind-blowing. I can't understand it. I can't understand it. We're holding our audience pretty good here, kids, at the top of the hour. I appreciate all of you still hanging around, man. I did meet Adam Cole, but it was at like an autograph thing. He was at it was when PWX was still running, and he worked the PWX show. Yeah, pretty sure it was PWX. Maybe it was Evolve. I don't remember. But we got autographed picture with Cole. Nice guy. Tiny. He's that big. He's a little bitty guy. I'm 6'3". I towered over Adam Cole. It's fine. I'm saying. It was nice to stand next to a pro wrestler and not feel like a half of a man. Let's be honest. Adam Cole's, I'm sure, more of a man than I am. Taller or not. So, yeah. Look at all these comments I'm missing. Oh, I got the Gary Hart one right. I'm so proud of myself. Buddy Rogers and Jimmy Del Rey. But see, would you call Jimmy Del Rey a territory guy? Because I don't know that I would. I don't know that I would. Buddy Rogers for sure. I appreciate you making the effort, Robbie. Jay says Sammy's matches with Penta. Well, there you go. There you go. The idea of Sammy's best matches being against guys who can bring it, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. Vic says Ryback will not go to AEW because of the issues between him and Saraya. Ryback shouldn't go to AEW because they don't need him. My opinion, they don't need him. No disrespect. You know what I mean? If they were to sign him, it's whatever. But I don't think they need him. Ray says, thought on Swerve in Page's house with the kid. I loved it. He's a stud. Needs to beat the brakes off Page. He's beat him, though. This, for me, this is where it gets a little weird. Like, you've already beat him. If Swerve couldn't beat him, like, say he lost that match, and now he's obsessed with beating Page. He not only wants to beat him, he wants to take everything from him. So it's a number one contenders match. And it's a anything goes match. See what I'm saying? And all these stipulations keep getting added, and he's got to get that win. And then he beats him. You see what I mean? This kind of feels like, well, Swerve can go over, and then he'll do this thing with Hangman's kid, and then that way Hangman can get his win back. If he gets his win back, I don't think it'll kill Swerve, but I want to see Swerve move up. I want to see Swerve with that title. And I don't mean 2 years from now. I mean now. Not now. You know what I mean? But not like, in 2 years, Swerve Strickland could beat the next. No. We're all getting older. What are we waiting for? Max is great. Jay White's awesome. Adam Cole is awesome. These guys are sweet. Swerve belongs in that conversation. If anybody doesn't agree with me, it's okay to be wrong. You're wrong. He belongs in that conversation. I'm just saying, man. There you go. That's a button. If I was still doing buttons, I'd have the Who's House button. Chad said, Tom, what do you think of Tony Storm's vignettes? Love her. Tony Storm is the greatest thing in pro wrestling today. I don't care. Jay says, seeing as I haven't asked yet, where do you want to see the grizzled young veterans show up? I think it would be fun to see them in New Japan. If they were wanted to that's a heck of a, that's not a car ride across town to the VFW, is it? But I'm just imagining them, Goto and Yoshihashi against the Grizzled Young Veterans. Hey, look, I am Yoshihashi's biggest supporter. If you sleep on Yoshihashi, shame on you. You know how many guys in that locker room would tell you that Yoshihashi hits harder than anybody else in that locker room? And you wouldn't think it by looking at him, because Hashi's been the punchline for a long time for a lot of people, right? Because he has no charisma. Zero. I'm not kidding. But man, can he go. Tough as nails, that guy. I'm just imagining what that tag team match would look like, dude. Shane says Hangman Page needs to watch Rip on Yellowstone and take Swerve to the train station. I'm not into that. Man, they're making like, did the Yellowstone, they're like a prequel and a sequel and whatever, and I don't know what they're doing. I'm not into the show. I've seen it over my shoulder in my peripheral. I've seen it, but I've never watched it. Maybe it's great. I don't know. Kids, we're at the top of the hour. Before we get out of here, real quick, we'll take a few more if you guys have them. Thanks for watching and listening to Tom Clark's Main Event. I appreciate you. Don't forget about Tom Clark's 6M podcast. That's movies, music, Marvel, magazines, miniseries, and more. And also Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. 3 podcasts. They're awesome. They're fun. We hope you love them. We hope you enjoy them. You want to find them? Get a pen. BoinkStudios.com. B-O-I-N-K. BoinkStudios.com. All the links to the platforms, to our social media, special announcements, they're all there. You can check out the hosts, including myself. Jay Love's on there. You can see links to other guys' podcasts, friends of the show, folks that I co-host with. Their links are on there as well. Go check it out. BoinkStudios.com. B-O-I-N-K. BoinkStudios.com. Jeffrey says someone needs to knock out his... Talking about Swerve, talking about Prince Nana. I'm with Jay. Prince Nana's great. I love him. Did you see that screenshot, that pic of him and MJF? Did everybody see that? Please tell me you saw that. I'm about to show it to you. You can't get booted off the Facebook for sharing a pic, can you? If you can, I'm in trouble. I'll find it. I found it, baby. Timothy, present. Thank you. Look at that and tell me that's not awesome. Look at that picture and tell me that's not the best picture ever. Look at that. Are you kidding me? That's a thing of beauty right there. You don't like that, there's something wrong with you. Let's do this. Let's get it where it's... Hold on. We'll get another one. Now I got the song in my head. Yes. Look. There it is. If you don't like that, come on, Jeffrey. It's great. This thing of MJF being everybody's buddy and stuff is a very, very different thing now. It's very different, right? It still takes a little bit of getting used to. I think I might get that shirt, Jay. I think I might get that shirt. That shirt's pretty bad, dude. All right, kids. Well, guess what? That's what we got for you this week. Thank you to everybody who showed up here today. Thank you to everybody who downloads and subscribes and follows Tom Clark's Main Event, who are listening to the show, the audio version after the fact. I do very much appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. Again, kids, if you will, visit and bookmark Boink Studios, B-O-I-N-K, BoinkStudios.com. All of our podcasts are on that website. I built that sucker myself. Hope you like it. Special announcements are there. Links to other podcasts are there for our podcast partners here in Boink Studios. You can see the hosts, the co-hosts. You can also, again, see the latest and greatest coming from Boink Studios, including yours truly. A lot of work goes into it, kids, I promise you. And hope you enjoy it. BoinkStudios.com. Tune in to Tom Clark's 6M podcast coming this Tuesday, the Halloween episode. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Our review is coming this Tuesday. Myself and Christopher Ray Patton on the 6M podcast. Don't forget about Two Nations Under Ted, a Ted Lasso podcast. Season 2 kicks off with a preview on Saturday, November 11th, and we get rolling from there. You're not going to want to miss it. It's a fun season. I promise you're going to enjoy it. Thanks so much for that and for tuning in. Season 1 is now available wherever you get your podcasts. The live video versions, or not live, but the video versions that we did, they're available right now on the YouTube Boink Studios. If you don't want to go to all that trouble, go to boinkstudios.com. Get all the links today. Thanks again, kids, for tuning in today. I greatly appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I appreciate your time, as always. Means loads to me that you guys tune in all the time. Thanks much for hanging out. Everybody have a great weekend. Be happy, healthy, and safe out there, all right? And we'll see you next time, kids. We appreciate you. See you later.